And then you multiply A and C together. And then you're going to list out all your factors. Remember, factors multiply to the number that you want. Okay, if it is a positive AC, you're going to add. If it's a minus AC, you're going to subtract. Remember that you want it to equal whatever B is. Okay? You're going to choose a pair from the list. And then this is where this step is different. Yesterday, you only had to divide by x because it was always a 1x. Okay, this time you're going to divide by ax and you're going to have to simplify. Okay, so put a little star. Okay, other than that one step though, bottoms up is still the same. Okay, all of your other steps are the same. Okay? Okay, but it's not hard and you can do it. Okay? So let's look at number 1. First thing I want you to do is identify your standard form numbers, A, B, C. Okay, my A is a 2.
Good morning, button around. Teachers, please release the students who are attending the UTD field trip with Abbott and have them come to the front of the school in front of Miranda Central.
They're taking different
Thank you.
breaks. Okay, so A is 2, C is 3. What's 2 times 3? 6. Boom, plus 6. Okay, from there, I need to list, look at where I'm at. I multiplied AC, now I'm going to list my factors. How can I times to get 6? 1 times 6 or 2 times 3. Okay, from there, look at the plus sign. If it's a positive AC, I want to add to equal B. What is my B? 5. So which set of those add to 5? Okay, 2 and 3. So I'm going to put plus 2, plus 3. Okay, this is where it's a little bit different. Yesterday, you would have only divided by x. But the reason why was because that was only an x squared. Now it's a 2x squared. So instead of just dividing by x, you're going to have to divide by 2x. So you take whatever your A is and you divide on both. Now look, from here, we're going to simplify. Can 3 divide by 2? No. Can 2 divide by 2? What does it divide to? 1 over x. And then from there, you do your bottoms up. Okay? So what's 2 divided by 2? 1. That's how come this turned into a 1 over x. And then from there, bottoms up, I do x plus 1. And then I do bottoms up here, 2x plus 3. Okay? It's almost exactly the same. It's just that divide by step that's different. If you're feeling a little flustered, let's do a couple more and you'll get it, okay? All right, go to number 3. Okay, look at it. We have 3x squared plus 6x minus 4, A, B, C. We need to multiply A and C together. My A is a 3, my C is a negative 4. What is 3 times negative 4? Negative 12. Multiply factors of 12. What could I have? 1 and 12. 2 times what? 3 times what? 4. And then my next pair, if I keep going up, 1, 2, 3, it would be 4, but 4 and 3 are already in my list. Okay, remember, at the top, if this is a minus, that means that I need to subtract. What do I want it to be when I subtract? B, which is a 1x. So I want them to subtract to give me 1. Okay, what's 12 minus 1? 11. Don't want that. What's 6 take away 2? 4. What's 4 take away 3? 1. That's my pair. Okay, I want 4 take away 3. Why? Because that gives me 1, and that's my B value, okay, from right here. Okay, so 4 and negative 3 are my numbers. What is my A to divide by with x? 3x. Now, one of them should always reduce. Sometimes both of them reduce, but in this case, which one can divide by 3? 3. Okay, the negative 3x. What is negative 3 divided by 3? Negative 1 over x. 1, 2. Those are your fractions. And then from there, you'd go bottoms up. What's my first parentheses? Okay, x minus 1. The order doesn't matter as long as you get both of them. So x minus 1 here. What about this one? 3x plus 4. Okay. All right, let's skip number 4. Turn over to the back. We're going to do a couple off the back here. We are going to need to change something on number 5. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So I want you to change this to a -6 and change this one to a +6. Okay?
Wouldn't they equal the same thing?
No. Okay, so what you should notice first is that step 1 is that your equation is supposed to be in standard form. Now you'll notice on this one that that's not the case. What is on the wrong side? The +6. How do I get rid of the +6? Okay, good. So I'm going to -6 and -6. Now notice I'm minusing 6 from -6. What is my C now?
-12.
Y equals 9x squared minus 23x minus 12. Very good. Okay, from there you would look for a GCF. And if you know your numbers, okay, 23 is prime. That can't divide by anything. So there is no GCF. We're ready to label our A, our B, and our C. What is A times C? What numbers am I multiplying? Okay, A, C. Okay, we're opening up our calculators. That's good. Okay, I need 9 times -12. What do I get there? -108. Okay, now, the reason I had you get your calculator is I'm going to show you how to get this list in the calculator. Okay, so if you don't know, this is what you're going to do. Go into Y equals, and you're going to type in 108 divided by X, and then look at your table. And it'll give you all the numbers. Now, a couple of quick things here. Don't put the negative in. Okay, just only put the number. So, in my calculator, I'm going to go to Y equals right here. Okay, and I'm going to put 108 divided by X, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to hit second graph, and I'm going to look at my table. Okay, because 108 is a pretty big number, and it's got a lot of pairs. Okay, so let's start up here at 1. What would my first pair be? 1 times 108. 2 times 54. 3 times...
427.
Okay, how do you know it? Oh, now, should I put 5 in my list?
No.
If it's partners, a decimal, that means it doesn't divide evenly. They're not factors. Okay, so 5 gets skipped. 6 and 18 will go. And then 9 and 12, and I think that's it. Okay, now, I heard Rudy already say he knows the pair. What am I looking for? They need to add or subtract? Subtract. What do I want them to be? 23. Which of those subtract to 23? 4 and 27. Now, if you're a calculator person, okay, look, watch. I know I want 4 and 27. Second, quit. Do I want 27 minus 4 or 4 minus 27? Because I got to pick.
4 minus 7.
Why?
Because it's negative.
Great. Okay, that's supposed to be a -23, so I need to pick 4 minus 27. Then once I pick the order that I'm going to subtract, I divide by AX. What's my A here? 9. So I'm going to divide by 9x, divide by 9x. Can 4 divide by 9? No. That one's done. Can 27 divide by 9?
Yes.
What do you get? -3 over x. Very good. And then from there you go bottoms up. So my first factor is 9x plus 4. My second one is x minus 3. Okay, now just a fun fact, since you guys are one of my better classes. Okay, let's say you wanted to check your work. All that you have to do is double distribute and see if it comes out the same. Okay, so you don't have to do this, but just watch. We're doing this tomorrow while I'm gone. What's 9 times x? Okay, what is 9 times -3? -27. Then remember, oops, -27, x. Okay, then I move to my second term. What's 4 times x? 4x. And what's 4 times -3? -12. Then I combine these two in the middle. What's -27 plus 4? -23x minus 12. Do you see how that's the same? Okay, so if you ever want to check your work and see if you did it right, okay, boom, there you go. You can do it. Okay, this is to check your work. Okay, you don't have to do that. I don't care if you do that right now. We're covering it tomorrow, but you can do that if you want to check your work. Okay, go down to number 6. Look at it. What do we need to do to put it in standard form? Plus 14, very good. Now, can I add the 14 to the 10 or the 24? Neither. Good. You got to add it at the back because 14 doesn't have an x. That means that those aren't pairs. Okay, I have y equals 10x squared minus 24x plus 14. Some of y'all at this point yesterday were like, oh, A, B, C. What's wrong? GCF. What can all of those divide by? GCF divide by 2. Okay, every single one of those is even. That means I can divide by 2. If I could divide by something bigger, I would divide by that greatest common factor, right? Okay, so y equals, what is 10 divided by 2? 5x squared. What is 24 divided by 2? Negative 12x. What is 14 divided by 2? 7. Okay, set up your t-chart. I am multiplying A and C. Those are my outside two numbers. A is a 5, C is a 7. 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, and then if you want to practice, put that in your calculator to get your list. This one doesn't have a lot of pairs, but just to make sure you remember, you go to y equals 35 over x. Okay, then from there you'd hit second table. You can pull up that list. Okay? What are my two pairs for 35? 1 and 35 or 5 times 7. Now, look, I have a plus 35. That means that I'm going to add, what do I want them to be when I add? Negative 12. Now first let's just deal with the 12. Which of these add to 12? 5 and 7. But if I want negative 12, I need to use negative 5 and negative 7. Okay, and remember we talked about that yesterday. Adding means the same sign. So if I want a negative 12, I just turn them both to be minus. Okay, am I done? What do I divide by? 5x. Can 7 divide by 5? Can 5 divide by 5? Negative 1 over x. And then you're ready to write your parentheses. What's my first parentheses? Use this one. Yep, this one. X minus 1. And, okay, bottoms up, 5x minus 7. Okay, one other thing I'm missing. What did we divide by? 2. Remember, that goes in the front. Okay? Alright, last one. Let's do number 7. Okay, how do I put it in standard form?
Plus 3.
Okay, add 3. What is 17 plus 3? 20. So I'd have y equals 4x squared minus 18x plus 20. Ooh, good. GCF, what can I divide everything by here? 2. Okay, and remember, you always want to divide by that GCF first. Okay, 4 divided by 2 in the front. What's my new x squared? 2x squared. What's 18 divided by 2? 9x. And then 20 divided by 2? 10. Okay, then I would look at my choices here. Set up your T. What is A times C? 20. Okay, if that's big enough that you want to use your calculator, you can. Y equals 20 over x. It'll pull up that list. Okay, but if you know your times table is not that big. 1 times 20. 2 times what? 3 doesn't work. What about 4 times what? 5. If your 20 is positive, remember that means that you need to add, which means that you're going to have the same sign. Okay, what do I want them to add to be in the middle? Negative 9. Now first let's deal with the 9. Which one adds to 9? 4 and 5. But if I want negative 9, I need to turn them both negative. Then divide both of those by 2x. Okay, always one of them will divide. Sometimes both of them divide. Okay, can 4 divide by 2? What is it? 2 over x. Good. And then for my second one, can 5 divide by 2? No. So it would be x minus 2 and 2x minus 5.
How do you get those again?
Going to y equals, and then you type in whatever your AC number is, divide by x. So in this case, it'd be 20 divided by x.
How do I get to
Second graph. Okay, there's one more that I want to do. I want to go back and do the one that we skipped because there are some like it on your homework where both reduce. So flip back over and I want you to set up the chart for the last one on the front of your homework or on your notes. Okay, use your calculator, pull up your chart if you need to. Oh crap, you know what I didn't do on that last example? Does any of you know? Oh, you guys are letting me fall apart up here. Okay, good. Remember that GCF needs to go there, okay? And the reason why is because if you check your work and you forget that's there, you're going to think you did it wrong. Okay, somebody tell me, what is 6 times negative 12? Negative 72. Okay, anybody have my list? What do I got? Okay.
324.
Okay.
418. And 89.
Now, this one has quite a few choices. Okay, here's what I would say. If you can look at the calculator and just pick the right one, you can just only write that one pair. I'm fine with that. I don't need to see the whole list every single time. So if you pull it up and you're like, oh, it's this one, just put that one in your chart and you're good. Okay, I want my numbers to subtract because of the negative. What do I want them to subtract to be? Negative 1. Okay, look at your list. Which one is one apart from each other? 8 and 9. Then I'm going to check in my calculator. Do I want 8 minus 9 or do I want 9 minus 8? 8 minus 9, because notice I want a negative 1. So I'm going to have positive 8 minus 9. What am I dividing both of those by? Good, 6x. Now this is important. Okay, neither of those technically divide. Okay, that is true. But look up at the word that we wrote. What do you need to do? Simplify. They can both simplify. Okay, 8 and 6 can both divide by what? 2. Divide the top by 2, what do you get? 4. Divide the bottom by 2, you get 3x. Okay, so it doesn't have to divide evenly. A lot of the examples we worked today did, but that is not always going to be the case. Now, what about 9 and 6? What can both of those divide by? 3. Divide the top by 3, you get negative 3. Divide 6 by 3, you get 2x. Okay? And then once you find those two, you can do your bottoms up, okay, with those new factors. What is my first factor? 3x plus 4 and 2x minus 3. Very good. Make sense? And then do y'all know how to reduce the fractions on here?
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't, pretend like you don't. You do 8 divided by 6, and then you do math right here, math, enter, and it'll reduce it to 4/3. But don't put the x in the fraction or else it messes it up. Okay, question?
Yeah, so there's no number that goes in the front of the parentheses because it's simplified?
Correct. The only time you'd have a number in the front is if there was a GCS.
Okay.
Okay? Alright, what I'd like for you to try on your homework, okay, just for practice, is try number 6 off the front. We'll go over it in a little bit. And then number 10 off the back. Okay, 6 on the front, 10 on the back, and then we'll check them. Ask me for help, ask somebody else if you need it. Come here. Okay, so like even though 4 can't divide by 6. Oh wait, hold on, what are you dividing by? 6, right? So, are these the numbers you're picking?
Yeah, I can simplify, but I didn't.
Okay, so negative 4 and 9, and then you have to divide them both by 6x. Yeah?
Don't have to simplify?
Yes. Otherwise it's wrong. Here, do you want me to circle the ones you have to go back and do that on?
Yeah, sure. Do it now.
That one's good, that one's good, that one's good, that one's good, that one's good. did 1, 6, 1, 3. Oh, I guess that's the only one. All the other ones are good. Yeah. We didn't take a quiz yesterday. We just had homework. No, the quiz from Friday we're just not taking.
Oh, I don't like this.
But I'll give you the homework.
Okay, I have some Friday.
And so then the ones yesterday, what you're dividing by every time, it's just like one. So like say you're doing that one, x squared plus 3x.
I'll put it. He made me late to first period. No, Sean.
So you set your chart. What's a if it's a 1 times negative 10? What would that be?
What? Should I make you late to first period too?
So you'd multiply your a and your c just like today.
Oh, yeah.
So what'd you get?
It's
Negative. Nope, 10 because you're multiplying.
Oh, yeah.
So you're doing 1 times negative 10. Okay, then how can I get 10? What are my choices? 1 and 10 or 2 times 5. Then remember that the negative tells us we're subtracting and we want it to be 3. So what's 10 minus 1? Don't want that. What's 5 minus 2? 3. You also could do 2 minus 5, but that'd give you negative 3 if you don't want that. Okay, then from there you would divide both of these by 1x. But if it's a 1 on the bottom, you just get to skip that simplify step. So this one would be x minus 2. That would be x plus 5. So it's almost exactly the same. The only big difference is that when you divide, you're not going to have to simplify on that part at all. Because it's always just if you divide by x, then it doesn't change that top number.
So you're just trying to like subtract these in order to get the number?
To get the b. That's right. You want to do one more?
Yeah.
Okay, and now on this one, we're subtracting because the AC is negative. So like, let's say that we're doing number 4. X squared plus 4x plus 3. X squared plus 4x plus 3. Okay? This is your A is 1. Your C is 3. What's 1 times 3? Okay, what's the only choice to times to 3?
What do you mean say that?
1 times 3. And because it's a positive 3, that means I'm going to add, I want it to be 4. So is 1 plus 3 4?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So if it's a positive at the top of the chart, you add. Hello? I do have marked out. Do you need them? Yes, thank you. Marco, you've been summoned. Mr. Gunter. I don't think. You can take it if you want. She didn't say to, so I would think no.
Would it be x plus 1?
So on our sales check,
Now let's pretend just for a second. Okay, let's pretend like this was a negative 4, even though it's not. Okay, you would still be adding, but remember that adding just means the same sign. So if I want negative 4, I'd use negative 1 and negative 3. That would be the only difference, but it, and x minus 3. So if this top number is positive, that means that your parentheses should both have the same sign. Versus if it's a negative at the top, one of your parentheses is positive, the other one's negative. That's the difference. Okay?
and that's easier than what we did today.
Yeah, it is, because it's minus one of the steps. Oh, I forgot to turn this off.